After you've drawn your two horizontally oriented drawings, the next step is to take a third sheet of paper that has to measure about 24 by 9 inches, and you're going to prepare it as a foundation accordion fold. You need this so that you can glue your two separate drawings onto this third sheet of paper. I mentioned it being an accordion because it's going to have mountain and valley folds that are going to have your orient your different drawings into two different positions. So let me demonstrate how it's done. First of all, you have to take a sheet of paper and draw on it 1 inch intervals, making hash marks on the top and bottom. This is going to make it easier for you to fold it later on. You're going to glue your two drawings onto this sheet of paper once you've cut them into two strips. That is the last step you're going to do, because you're going to find yourself with 24 strips of paper and it gets really confusing as to where they all have to go. So doing this foundation accordion fold makes it easier for you to be organized and get ready to start gluing right after you've cut them. This is a problem in school because oftentimes the students cut their strips of paper and then they have to put everything into Ziploc bags. And 24 strips of paper can get confusing and easily lost. How we make the system a little easier is that you're going to write letters and numbers at the back of each one, but that's something for later on. So to make this accordion fold easier to kind of navigate and fold, you're actually going to draw hash marks of 1 inch intervals on both sides of the paper. So as you're folding, you don't get confused as to where to fold. You want to make sure that the folds are crisp and really accurate. Accuracy and craftsmanship are an important part of this project. You really have to take your time and do it when you're focused on drawing the hash marks, making sure that 1 inch on top. You'll notice that you're going to draw these hash marks, these little indicators of where each inch line is going to get drawn on the top and bottom. If you try to get away with just drawing one hash mark, you'll find that your lines won't be accurate. They'll just be all over the place, and folding it will be a nightmare. So you want to make sure you draw these hash marks on the top and bottom of your picture. So here we're going to demonstrate how one line kind of connects both hash marks on the top and bottom. A second line will show that the hash marks are connecting the one line, and the line is going from the top all the way to the bottom. Don't draw it or stopping at the hash marks. It should literally end at the bottom of the paper and start on top. Sometimes students, they'll draw it between the two dots, and then it'll get confusing as to where the fold actually happens. So we're really quickly just drawing these lines going straight up and down, connecting again the hash marks, making sure that they are in effect getting connected. These lines go top to bottom. See if I could focus on where we drew these hash marks. Unfortunately, the accuracy and the craftsmanship of these cuts and folds are really important. Not doing it can make for an Agamograph that is not going to yield good results, and you're going to be disappointed. I wish I could say that it's going to be easy, but it's going to require quite a bit of skill. This might be a part that you might want to incorporate or ask an adult to help you, as I've helped my wife to do this part. So we're drawing those lines, and I want to tell you that we're going to draw these hash marks and then draw the lines on both sides. The reason why we're doing that is to make it easier to fold. You want that line to appear on both sides, and you're not going to get confused as to where to draw the lines as you rule it up and down, and you don't want it to in effect be confusing as you turn your paper over. So both sides are going to have this 24-inch sheet of paper folded. The way that you could get 24 inches is if you tape two sheets of 12-inch by 9-inch paper. And I know copy paper is a little smaller than that, but if at the ends you don't get exactly an inch, it's okay, but you want it to be accurately 1 inch each line. And if it's a little shorter than 9 inches, depending on your sheet of paper, that's fine. When you do glue your sheets of your cut strips of paper, you should glue them at the bottom. Start at the bottom, have them line up nice and straight. You don't want to have the strips glued on in a almost roller coaster zigzag way, as I've seen students do, because it's gonna be hard to follow what your drawing looks like when you have it glued on there. So again, we're drawing the straight lines, going as straight as possible. Rulers are measuring tools, but for art, they draw really great straight lines, and you want to be accurate, holding onto your ruler with your hand as wide as you can, and having it contact your paper and not skipping around. That's something that can happen quite easily. And again, your line should be crisp and accurate going from the top and bottom of your paper. So as you can see, we're drawing these lines to make it easier to fold it. Agomographs are amazing when people start to realize that it's a piece of art that you view it from two different sides and you get a different artwork depending on your perspective. People are fascinated by that. When you display this in your home, you're going to have a lot of conversation based on your different drawings. So we're almost finished with this part here. Again, at the very end of the paper, it was a little shorter than 1 inch, but that's okay. It'll be just one end will get glued on there carefully. I recommend that when you glue it, you use a glue stick that you use carefully and get all those strips glued on as quickly as possible. So now we're going to fold it for you.